One day, a man shall come, a man of truth, a man of righteousness, and his name, Adam Rush. Hey Connor, how's it going? You said you wanted to start that Bible. Well, that's a little bit of Rush 4:20. How do you like that verse, huh? You said you wanted to start a wrestling Bible. You can never write that much because you didn't graduate high school. Oh, you dropped out instead. Like a genius. At least I'm trying to make something of myself, Chris. You? You're going to be stuck fixing cars and smoking pot your whole life. And you know what? That's okay, because that's your choice. But me, I'm going to be making the money. You said that wrestling was just an alternative for me. But see, the simple fact is that wrestling isn't an alternative. Wrestling is something that I've tried to get out of my life for so long, and yet there's something that keeps pulling me back in, and I think it's the fans, which is sad because I've never been one of the people that's going to be liked by everyone. In fact, a lot of people in EFED hate me. But the simple fact is that, Connor, I don't actually care because I am good at what I do, unlike you. Hey, remember how you started that company, you ripped off my ideas, and then you got famous and popular? Well, who's the only person to hold all the titles in your federation? Oh yeah, Adam Rush. And for that matter, everything that I do to spite you. Now, in your last little video, you talked about how I'm an abomination because I'm transgender, right? Well, guess what? I'm fucking proud to be transgender. From this day forward, I want to be known as Mia Rush. From this day forward, I'm the queen of wrestling. And you know what? That's great, because I can finally be who I am. And you know what, Connor? You wouldn't know about being proud of anything because you've never had anything in your life to be proud of. Everything rains on you. Your life is absolute shit. And you know it. That's why you run away to the wrestling world, because you don't have a choice. Quite simply, there is nowhere else for you to escape. And that's great, you know. I'm glad that you run away to the wrestling world to solve all your problems. But your biggest mistake was accepting this match, Chris. You talked about how you were there for me when everything crumbled. When I came out as transgender. When Megan left me. And yet, you forget that you were about ready to quit. You were about ready to retire from wrestling. You came to me and you said, hey, I might be retiring soon. I'm going to be giving the group to you. And you know what I said? I said that you shouldn't retire. I pulled you away from retirement, and without me, you wouldn't exist anymore. I was prepared to run the company with DMG and Messiah by my side, but I wanted you. Because at the time, you were my brother. But now I wish I would have taken the company. You talk about how I'm always getting into groups to take them over. That's not even true. I go into groups to try and help them, to try and save them from themselves. But of course, you wouldn't know any of that because you're just focused on taking over every little thing you can. And you are the biggest control freak I know. Quite simply, you hired me to book your matches. You then changed them up like 6 or 7 times. I was trying to help you, and you denied my help. And here's another thing for you. Weren't you supposed to face VTech at this little show? But VTech didn't want you. VTech said you weren't good enough. And now you're stuck with me, Mia Rush. Doesn't that just suck for you? Because now Now I'm going to be the biggest thorn in your side. And in our I Quit match on April 16th, you will scream that you quit. And you will walk out of the HoPW arena and you will never come back. Because, Chris, I'm not going to let you win. You can't survive. When your world was crashing down, when Sierra left you, who was standing there waiting to catch you even after you ditched him at the time? You ditched Adam Rush, Chris. You ditched Jake, Connor. But Jake was right there, ready to help you. You came to me, and we talked it out, and I told you exactly what I thought of Sierra, and I think that she's a low-life, lying piece of garbage, and I think that if you two ever get back together, she's going to leave your ass for a crack dealer. And you know what? If she left your ass for a crack dealer, she'd be in better hands than with someone who doesn't even have his high school diploma. You might have a GED. Congratulations. That's so much better. But the simple fact is that your whole life, you're going to be doing drugs and fixing cars. Congratulations, you become my father. And see, Chris, we're not that different, you and I. You have family problems, I have family problems. I haven't seen either of my parents in months. I mean, my mom and I have been fighting for 3 years, and I've seen my dad once in 11 years. Meanwhile, well, we're not going to get into your parents. But the simple fact remains, Chris, that you fired me for saying I was going to send you the way of your mother and your stepfather, DMG, and Firestar Heart. And while I did make a mistake there, I wish I had talked about your real parents. Because quite simply, at least then I would have had a real reason to be fired. And Chris, the simple fact is this is the end. This is the last time we're going to face each other, because I quite honestly don't have anything left to prove to you after this match. When I beat you, when I end you, you will run out of HoPW crying your eyes out. And you will hail me as the Queen of Wrestling. And when you get your ass beat by a girl, that's just going to sting that much more. Congratulations, Chris. You wanted to start a war? It's on. By the time this is all said and done, the Game Changer will end it all for you.